Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the Clatter of Clans Season 19. My name is Crowns. I will be joined by Priest later on today, hopefully. But that being said, we're going to be getting started into the game. We've seen 2 days of beautiful action, and now we're about to head into the final game. We did mention it yesterday that there's already a chase that is coming in through, especially when we start to look at those leaderboards there, with Red Shield now having to defend their lead, and we look forward to seeing if they will be able to actually hold on to this lead that they've got. 79 points as they're tied with the side of 10-11, winning 10-11 over with the chicken dinners that they're able to accrue. As we do know, when we start to talk about that tiebreaker, we're talking about the chicken dinners. But man, it's been tough, and it's looking to get tougher as the difference between all those teams aren't too much. But the regular game, we're going from Erangel to Miramar to Sandhawk today, and they'll be closing things off out there in Vikendi. So be sure to pull up and show. But without further ado, Shadi Adu, Hula Balu, and Oiti Toiti. We'll be getting into the game real soon. Once again, we know these teams are fighting for $150. So yeah, we're seeing how well they can play and what team would end up taking that pole position. And even we're not just looking at the teams, we're also going to be looking at individual players and seeing what these players or which player is able to get themselves that MVP title. But anyway, let's not talk too much. That play path is a very bad one, as we do see it down towards that western side of Erangel. Not too fun for teams who would like to land in Yasnaya, the Mansion, Prison, Lipovka, the school area, Pochinki. These are all places that, it will be a little bit of a challenge for teams to get to because of that playing path. And let me not even get started with Muta Power, Muta, Novo. I believe this is one of those playing paths that forces these teams to go for like a secondary drop, as we can see the side of 10-11 having to go to Zarki, where this time they will be having a little bit of a hot drop. And to be honest, for a team that is chasing for that number one spot, this is not a good position they want to find themselves in. But hey, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We did see them pull up some clutch plays yesterday, so I'm going to believe that they can do it. Pain Africa, also another team that is kind of in that race too. They're just about 16 points behind. So I think it's something that they can still do. It's a matter of 2 games, but that will be provided the side there of Red Shield do not have a good game. But ultimately, we'll be seeing how well these teams will be able to do that going on to today. There's a whole lot of skirmish going on around that Jojipo area. So many landing skirmishes that is happening. And we can see plenty of these teams just having to land on the road, try to find themselves a vehicle so they can actually get into the zone. But we'll see how. I'm actually down to see how that works. We do see this idea of Navy with Apex out there in the hospital area. With Apex already losing one in Kage. We'll just look forward to see how well they'll play this one for a team that there was so much expectations coming up for this team going into this finals. But it does look like they're not quite able to find their footing, at least not for the time being. Newbies though, currently being isolated by the players there from Team Apex, and this is why I look forward to seeing we're looking forward to seeing a little bit of form up coming from the rest of their team. Like right now they're sleeping on it too much. There's a little bit of a delay. You want to form up on Anubis as quickly as possible, because if the players there from Apex decide to isolate him and go for that full send, it's going to immediately push you up onto a disadvantage. But Anubis though, got to give him his accolades for doing quite the job. He's just awaiting the form up from his teammates. To be honest, his teammates really need to do well. If Anubis goes down here, I will be putting all that blame on the teammates, not gonna lie, because I'm like, you guys could have formed up on him quite early. But anyway, Anubis is able to find a way to the roof by himself a little bit of time. And that is quite a good position coming through from Anubis. And these are things that you see players do, and you just know that, okay, this player is actually quite familiar with the lay of the land. They know how things go on this side. But
Rich, you can talk if you're back.
But anyway, we're looking forward to seeing how this one will
Yes,
play out.
sir.
And well, it
Crowns.
does look like
How
we've
you
got
doing? How you
Priest in the
doing? How you
building now.
doing?
How
How
are
you
you
doing?
doing today, Priest?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I've been fighting some serious technical difficulties on this end, man. But I think I've had everything sorted out.
Mm.
So yeah.
Well, you've not missed anything apart from a very deadly play path. To be honest, it wasn't the best of play paths, if you ask me. Automatically forced us into a lot of hot drops as we've instantly lost 2 teams. We did lose the side of Phenoms there in Zarki to 10-11, which is a good start for 10-11, by the way. We're seeing Team Apex also lose players as they did lose one of their players there in Kage. But other than that, I fail to remember what team it is that went out second. But yeah, I do know Phenoms are out. I think one team just did not register themselves into the lobby. But still, it is the final day, Priest. What are your expectations?
Well, you know how the leaderboard was looking at the end of yesterday's game. 79 points apiece for RSG and 10, 11 after the amazing games that they had yesterday. So I'm looking for more of the same today. More towards RSG to keep up. It would be interesting to see them keep up first place from day 1, day 2, and to close out in the final day as the winners. Oh, that's a beautiful spray off the top there, but fortunately nothing untoward. There's a whole lot of bodies around this area, and it would require something special to keep these guys at bay. He might decide to hop off if he knows what's good for him. Yes, switches up immediately there to the shotgun. The shotgun merchants crowds. Have you been how do you feel about these shotgun merchants? Because that was an interesting shot right through the window, connecting through, and you have the gun meta.
I mean, it's not even just a matter of loving the shotgun meta. I just keep saying that is what shotguns are supposed to do. And Anubis does seem to find himself being a master as Kuma does fall. One more player left for the side here of Team Apex, who's currently being backed into a corner. It's only a matter of time. Wait a minute. He gets one. The remaining of the players there from the Navy down to a slither of HP, and it's only a matter of time before they crowd Apex with the numbers. And once again, Apex not quite finding their footing. They're currently seated in 15th place, and now they've gone out quite early in this game, getting themselves 0 points. Anyway, not too sure if Frez is hearing me there, but
well, that was an impressive display coming in from Anubis there with the shotgun.
all right, there's a little bit of latency between I and Chris, but I believe that is something we're going to get sorted out in a matter of time. But that being said, rotations is what we're going to be seeing from the side of the Navy SEALs. And that's something I enjoy from them, or something that I will commend them for, not staying around too much on the boxes of Team Apex, just getting your loot up as quickly as possible and get yourself out of that position, because you know how condensed it can get up there on that southern edge of Jojopo towards the hospital area. Teams have heard those shots and they will be looking forward to come through for a third party. So I enjoy the proactivity coming through from the side of Navy.
You have to enjoy that proactivity, always staying one step ahead. Navy have been doing a fantastic job so far. They've got a couple of eliminations under their belt, so they do not necessarily have to bait and switch every now and then. They have a pretty nice spot in the play zone, at least for the time being. We'll look forward to seeing how they will manage going further. But Crowns, there's a whole lot of teams inside of that the map there, as you can see, is a very interesting. If the plays the eastern side or maybe towards the south, blessing 21st century, is going to be a very tricky one, because there's all of these teams on the west and none of them are actually getting into any sort of engagement just yet. And I spoke too soon. Looks like some Breach Chaos is looking forth here.
Don't play with that, man. Does find the person up onto one of the players there, pushing up towards their position. And man, you've just got to admire the confidence coming through from Ghost, holding his ends against the whole squad there from the players there from No Pressure. As we await the rest of active gaming, we know they're not wanting to sleep on a push, and that is a sexy grenade coming through from Ghost as he does continue up on that push. Prison happening to be on his left-hand side, and I do not know if the players there from No Pressure are still feeling zesty about this one, as Prison backs down into the corner, forced to fall back, gets into the vehicle, but I do not know. With the sprays that might come through from the players there from active, do you think he escapes this?
Too nice. It's not looking good, bro, but he manages to fade away in the distance there, leaving his teammates to fall to the 5.56s from Ghost. Absolutely fantastic stuff coming in from Ghost there as a solo player. standing his ground, facing the entirety of a team like no pressure. That is absolutely commendable. Waiting for the rest of his teammates to assemble to the position. He had already dealt so much damage all by himself, and that is the kind of player we love to look out for. Players that are not scared to hold their ground. I mean, that is what makes differences between teams. Individual brilliance, specific moments like these. There are some players would hop, just pull up side, chill for a little bit, give as much information as they can onto the whereabouts of the enemies, and then wait for their turn. But Ghost, as his name implies, he didn't ghost that one. He literally took the fight as it came and started knocking players from no pressure left, right, and center, destabilizing the entire process. And that is what separates Ghost from a different kind of player. So that is what we love to see. But ladies and gentlemen, it's the COC. It is the final day. Who is going to be crowned champion? We're about to find out. Game one. The chicken dinner will be a big deciding factor, especially for teams like RSG and 10-11 and a couple of other teams that are sitting pretty at the top. Bang, 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 bang.
Definitely sitting pretty. This time not lonely though, because this points at the point difference isn't that much. As I was pointing out earlier, there's only about 15 points separating third place from second place, and that is a gap that you can easily close in a matter of 4 games. But that being said, we're starting to see more central rotations come through from the teams as we're starting to see Invincibles move. We're talking about Invincibles yesterday being one team that we've not really seen them showcase that aggressive prowess and that confidence that we saw from them coming through in the Clatter of Clans season 18. We've been seeing them play a little bit more passively, going for center positions, and going towards the end of the game, it almost just feels like they're not warmed up enough to take those late game fights. So we start to see them go out quite early.
Yeah, the Invincibles, exactly. The Invincibles have been a falling prey to that, the spirit of early fighting. As we saw that day one, day two, more of the same, and they do manage to, pride themselves on getting some early eliminations, but at what cost? They barely make it through going into the later stages of the game, and now they're starting to pay the price. 21st Century might be having their hands full here. Starting to spray across there. So trying to hold off a couple of players. I believe that is from
Mm-hmm.
Galaxy. A couple of shots did ring through. 21st Century looking very nice coming in from the southern side. They've left their landing spot behind. That they can hold off any team that tries to approach from the water ends. I think that is their strategy here. They continue to lay the assault onto the guys from Galaxy, and that will be a confirmation again from Roy. 21st Century up now.
I tell you, I enjoy the way 21st Century has played this game because not too often do we see teams that land on that military island go through the military base breach, because of that fear of there's going to be a team that is going to be trying to gatekeep or breach campus. But 21st Century going for that cross quite nicely, able to make their way across the bridge. It was a nice play, pushing the players there from I believe it was who was it again? Anyway, pushing the team that was trying to keep them, pushing them further back. Galaxy Gaming actually pushing them further back, and that is just an interesting play. And I enjoy the way Galaxy Gaming fell back with just the one player. They realized they're currently seated in fifth position. As much points as they can salvage, they will try to get that one, even if it comes through from sheer placement.
Exactly, and you're right about that one. Galaxy did, they made the wise choice because they are playing the long game. They know that they are trying to get into that showdown at the end of the year, so every point counts. Even if they do not crack the the prize pool code, at least they are trying to make it into that showdown. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the top four teams that make it at the end of this finale will be promoted to the Clatter of Clans Showdown, coming to you live in December 2023. And now that is going to be another type of tournament on its own because it's going to feature every single top four team from the whole 2023 crowns.
Mm-hmm.
How chaotic
I think it's just going to be a very strong lobby, to be honest, because everyone is a top team as they did do well in each tournament going into the final. When I talk about a spray coming through from Dead Doors, I was actually going to talk about this team. Yesterday they did not even start off well. They were on the bottom parts of the leaderboard, had cracker of a performance yesterday, bumped themselves up to 7th position, and right now we've seen them on the top of Pochinki Hill take out a couple players there from Pain Africa. It just goes to show that confidence, that improvement is coming through from time to time as they continue to play these games. And this is what I love to see. In as much as they might not be on the very top of the board, just the fact that they were able to improve across the days here in the finals just shows that this team is one team that is destined to do better when we start to look at their future. Mhm. Yeah, and to be honest, this zone just happens to be a very, very tricky one. Half of it is just open fields. There's a little bit of hills up there, and then there's the building being held by Red Shield, which I really admire. And I look forward to seeing Red Shield hold on to their ends on there. But this is one of those zones where I can understand why the teams that were previously on the west decided to go towards the northern side of the map, or even try to move further into the center, because nobody wants to start staying in the in the open fields. Going into phase 3, phase 4. You want to make sure that you have quite a solid position. And right now, Pochinki Hill, there's only a little chunk of it that is there, and we can see quite a number of teams. There's active gaming there. There's 10-11 also there. There's players there from Navy Seals also there. Detos was in there sometime. And right now, just on the bottom of that hill, there is players there from Red Shield. It's going to be a very tricky rotation coming through from all those teams that are currently on that eastern side. And at this point, it is inevitably going to happen that we start to see so many teams go out because everyone wants the same positions. Everyone either wants to be on top of the hill or wants to be in the buildings there that Red Shield currently find themselves. I said it's a very tricky zone to play. Players there from 10-11 rotating a little too early, and the active gaming able to capitalize on that one as they start to send the shots. All 10-11 players backed up into one shack, and this is where it starts to get tricky. Goes to demand the fragger, trying to see if he can get the shots through the glitch, but it's not going to happen. Pops into the shack, finds two players down for the side of 10-11. There is only so much they can do. The cover fire is far, they cannot do anymore, as this is what happens when you have open field. That zone moves up to that eastern side, and Red Shield should be having a field trip right now as they're getting crashed at the side here of Death Those. Oh, it's you purely on fire, to be honest. I did find out a way to get myself in. You know, frequent play is the small letter F, frenzy is the capital letter F. But ultimately, we're seeing more rotations come through. I love the fact that Dead Those were able to take that engagement to the side here of Rage Shield, taking absolute control of that compound, and talk about a push coming through from that team. That team has been on fire going into today's games, and I'm very, very impressed as to how they're playing. Frequent plays, on the other hand, looking for a split across the open field as we start to see them send it towards that northern side of the map, because only the north seems to have a little bit of dips and high grounds to play with. On that northeastern side, or northwestern side, sorry, we see a lot of the open bare fields that you're going to need smokes to deal with. So everyone trying to clear out the edges. Same thing can be said about Invincibles, just trying to clear out the edges before they make it into that next phase. Tell you. Nah. Yep. Well, I hope not. But ultimately, Invincibles out there on that southern side. We just see Emperor. Maybe he's received a call. You know how it gets when they start to call you. But anyway, the buggy tire does get popped. The icon is spinning around to come through. In the blue zone is Reverb trying to find a couple of shots, but nah, it's not going to be happening. We did mention Decto is having quite a strong position, utilizing it to the finest, as we already see them up to what? I believe that is 8 eliminations. Looking for more. Invincibles find themselves in quite a strong position also, but not too much of cover to work with. And right now, it does look like the main priority for the players there from Dead Those is to prevent every person from frequent plays from getting into that zone, whilst trying to find out what else is going on in the rest of the circle. Down to the final 10 players, and frequent plays looking for that rotation down to the south. but they're not allowing that one after one gets completed, and they're looking for two. That spray is accurate as Smokey removes him with all sorts of aggression from that buggy. I mean, I did get that he got a little bit of help, but that was a whole lot of sprays. But you spray someone, you also go down by spraying, as the players there from Invincibles now start to exert their vexation on that compound now. Now is the time for them to go for that push, and if they can slam into that compound, they might just be able to take this game off.
Yeah, opportunity for them to snatch this one away from the guys from Death Dose. And Invincibles now having their work cut out for them. They've got one knock, but can they seal it with something? Allah with a grenade onto the left side, connects immediately now. And now Diva falls away. Opportunity for Death Dose to hold on. All of the angles might not be covered here, and they might be able to hold on just a little bit longer. Invincibles will have to reposition and recalculate any kind of move they want to make right now, because they've lost the front man all the way onto the eastern side, and the rest of the players from Death Dose can now get the reset, and there is no cover. Spray across again from Allah all the way from the corners there, and now Invincibles are on the back foot. They do not have all of the cover. They do not have any buildings to play from, unlike the guys from Death Dose, and now the numbers are looking like they might be in the advantage of Death Dose here if Invincibles do not make one kind of drastic play to change things into the corner there. But I spoke too soon. Another one bites the dust. It looks like this time it's going to be Emperor. He falls away as well, and it's left to Ronnie.
Ronnie to hold on the fort in a 1v4 situation. There's so much angles coming through from the side of Death Dose, and they made the most of that compound. You can tell why they really wanted that compound, why they fought for that compound, and indeed they were able to get that one. I'm not doing that math right, but I believe that is 14 eliminations and a winner chicken dinner to go alongside it. And Death Dose, we're seated on 51 points. If we're going to be adding 24 points to their tally, that bumps them way up to the top of the leaderboard. And talk about an improvement. I was just talking about this team.
They've gotten into the 70s. Yeah, they're now inside of the 70s. You know, it's so interesting seeing how these teams are actually able to pull out these numbers. It is too impressive. You can't even lie. It is super impressive how these teams are able to put up these numbers. 79 points we started off the day for 10-11 on RSG, and now Death Dose have gotten themselves into the 70 region as well. So now it looks like it's going to be one of those games where it comes down to match 4, and that is what I love to see. Match 4 finish, so you know that the drama is going to be all the way real.
Yep, and that is what we always expect to see here in the Clatter of Clans. I mentioned it yesterday. We saw in the previous season, on the final day was a battle between 3 teams for who was going to clinch that #1 spot. And right now it is looking like it, as Death Dose looking to push themselves to the top of the leaderboards. And this time it might be 4 teams. What 4 teams are those? We're going to be finding out just right after the break. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Now it's blurry.
Now it's still blurry. Yes, leaderboard is still blurry.
It's blurry as fuck. I can't even read. That leaderboard. So
relatively better. Yeah, like this, it is relatively better.
Still blurry, bro.
I think it's relatively better this way. Yeah, this looks better. Not very clear, but better. This is good. Like this is good. Like this is actually
Yeah,
good.
this is. I can see here. I can see this one.
Mhm.
This one I can see.
This one is good.
Wait, where did the Dead Dose 51?
No, it's not updated
No
yet.
pressure. Didn't get anything. Galaxy. Didn't.
This is before. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
before
They
this game.
calculate in my head.
51 plus 24 is like 70 something. 75.
Yeah, 75.
Yeah, so they'll be in like
Hmm.
fourth.
And RSG and 1011 didn't do much.
10-11 more.
To situation in front of us, and I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you gotta need a make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time will come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time will come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel you in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers. That's what I know you're situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel you in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers. That's what
Hello and welcome back to the Clatter of Clans Season 19 finale. Today's the final day. We've seen one game already done and dusted. I mean, just for today. If we're talking about the previous days, I don't want to do the math. But that being said, it's been a very interesting. I wanted to mix interesting and eventful together. So interestful game one that we've just seen out there, Priest. And, you know, looking at that leaderboard, I guess I was right with my predictions, no?
Yeah. You did a little bit of interesting math, boy math, to get to this point. But 10-11 is leading the pack after their display, you know, and that is a strategy I've seen from 10-11 time and time again. Every single game, they must score a couple of points. They will never go into any game without scoring any points, just so, you know, they don't allow teams to overtake or get, you know, close enough to them for them to you know, lose focus or have to worry about other teams. But RSG, not too far away, it's just a 7-point difference. You know, just those have now climbed in to the top 4 with 21st Century just falling by the wayside there. Unfortunately, Invincibles still within reach. But all the way from Pain down to the guys from No Pressure, there's still a lot to play for their crowns.
To be honest, it's still quite close. Top four is still achievable. I wouldn't know about top three, but top four, fourth being or holding that 68 points. Invincibles following in fifth with 66, then there's 63, then there's 56. You can tell that that point difference is not too much. If any of these teams are able to grab themselves a sweet chicken dinner like that those have done, they will be able to find themselves on the top parts of that leaderboard. But that being said, welcome to the second game of the final day. It's going to be none other but Miramar. Another very northern playing path this time, but it's not very nice if you ask me. Not too much landing options are available. Chumasera is far off, Los Leones is far, La Bendita is far. I mean, you could try to make it all the way to La Bendita, but Puerto Paraiso, Minas del Sol, Los Eagles, these are places that will be hard to reach. Even in Impala and that play zone, looking on that circle, actually looking to be on that eastern side, this is not looking like a fun game for all of these teams. Yep, definitely what we're gonna be keeping our eye out for. Looking at also those POIs to see which parts teams would be looking to hold. Not too much of a skirmish going on early on in the game, which I'm quite impressed about. I see the side of Pen Africa have decided not to show up today, which I'm not gonna start today. I'm just going to let it slide because Crowns, this is not the time for you to get angry. But anyway, looking at landing locations for the teams, we do see the players there from Royal Blood in Monte Nuevo. Red Shield holding on in El Pozo. On the outskirts of El Pozo will be Detos, and I do not know. Seeing that Detos have just won the last game, I'm not very confident about them landing in the outskirts of El Pozo because you're not quite able to get as much loot as you'd want to around that side of the map. But keep my eye out on them, see how well they're able to play on to the rest of the game. That being said, La Cabrera out there is going to be held by Pain Africa with Navy SEALs out there somewhere around the water treatment with the side there of 10-11. Around the Minas General, San Martin and Hacienda del Patron, we've got the side here of Invincibles and Navy. A little bit of a sprinkle of Phenoms also there. In the Junkyard, we've got Apex. Out on the Graveyard and the outskirts, we have the side there of Frenzy, Galaxy Gaming holding up in Picado, 21st Century out there in El Azahar, and Frequent Plays holding up quite their ends on that northern side, chilling in Torre Ahumada. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to be looking at other rotations that are coming in through. I like the splits coming through from the side of Team Apex, holding up quite nicely. We do see Kage this time looking alive. I do see that today they've brought in Kuma into the mix. We didn't really see Kuma come through from days before, but right now he's coming into into the games now. We look forward to seeing what that change might actually bring through. Active Gaming chilling out there in Chumasera, which is a little bit of an improvement coming through from them. I'd have to say that one. We normally would see Active Gaming land around the Los Leones area of the map, but today, and even I believe throughout the finals here in the Clatter of Clans, they've decided to land all the way in Chumasera. And today they do look to have Shiva brought into the mix. So we'd enjoy seeing what Shiva has got to show around there. But that being said, it's still the first circle. Everyone's still looking forward to rotating to that circle a little bit late. There's quite the number of good positions that are available in that zone. We're looking at that eastern side. That is a good place to hold. Up towards the north, we've got some of the places there around the junkyard. These are good positions to hold. Even on the south, there's still a couple high grounds. So I can understand why there isn't too much of a rush coming through from these teams. But as we start to head into those later phases of the game, it's going to become more skirmishes. It's going to become less accommodating for all these teams. Well, that being said, still out here chilling. So we do see Phenoms looking to get into the zone. They only came in with 2 players this time, not working out too well for them, at least not yet. But we'll see how well they're able to hold up. Active Gaming holding up in 8th position as they found their way back into that top 8. Still looking forward to them doing, that crack of a performance. I would say top 1 is definitely out of talks right now for the side of Active. But when we look at our top 3 position, top 4 actually, still something that is quite achievable for the players there from Active Gaming. And then we're going to be looking forward to see them even do more, Anyway, frequent play also finding their way into that top 7 position. We did see them jump out of it before, but now they're back in. With Pain Africa also doing quite well too. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Maybe not enjoying what I'm seeing from Pain Africa, because to be honest, I'd have expected Pain Africa to do more. Right now, it does seem they're only able to get 16 points all the way from positions, and eliminations are going all the way to 47. And that is not what we know from Pain Africa. We know them to be one of those teams that knows how to close out games and get themselves quite the number of eliminations too. But that being said, we're still looking for more as we start to see frequent plays moving from that northern edge of the circle to Apex out there in the center. We can already see Invincibles chilling around that graveyard area, also looking to head towards that center circle. Interesting to see a lot of rotations already getting started. Side of Rage Shield still in that blue zone. We don't normally see late rotations coming through from Rage Shield. So right now, I'm really looking forward to that. I would expect that right now they're trying out new things. It's the final day. Hopefully they've tried this out in scrims and it worked out well for them, because right now their lead is being lost little by little. As we do know, 10-11 is not one team that is going to sleep when they have the lead there on the top of the boards. But anyway, Dector is also still looking to make a rotation through.
Yeah, just those have been enjoying the play zone so far. Their rotations have not been too crazy, but unfortunately, it looks like they will be running into the guys from RSG all the way onto that western side, and it will take a lot of them to hold off. But I think we've got Active Gaming once again on our screens. Trying to make an infiltration back inside of the zone. It has moved all the way to the eastern side, and that is the area I was talking about. Puerto Parisio, Impala, that is where you want to be. And now most of these teams have finally decided that, oh yeah, there's some real estate. Now is the time for us to move in there. But what does that mean? It creates chaos, and now those teams are going to get into a little bit of a chaotic factor, trying to find a way inside of that play zone, and they start running into each other, and they start getting into all of these unprepared engagements. And that is the danger when it comes to scenarios like this. Active Gaming might fall prey to this late rotation. They had a little bit of that western side going for themselves earlier, but they didn't make the move on time, and now they are zone chasing. And zone chasing teams rarely make it through, especially in maps like Miramar that have a lot of terrain, a lot of dips and hills. And that, is one of the factors you have to consider, especially if you want to play from the high ground, as I know that most of these teams love to play from.
Yeah, but then when that zone goes all the way towards that eastern side, right? Like I would permit it for the likes of Active Gaming, maybe 10, 11 also. These are teams that we know like to rotate late. But that zone has still not taken its complete shape and form. Active Gaming currently on the edge of circle. We're starting to see rotations coming through from the side there of Galaxy Gaming, who do seem to be drawing closer and closer to them and starting to lose players too, if you may. But that southern side does still look like an entry point into that circle. It's quite expected that many of the teams would, go for a push to the center of the circle, leaving the entire western side to be a little bit free. So, that is somewhere that I would expect that some of the teams like Ghetto, Spain, Africa, the like their frenzy, no pressure, those are spaces that they would like to hold, given that they would know for a fact that, there's the likelihood that there wouldn't be teams around there. Many teams would like to play towards that center of the circle. Speaking of circle, we're already getting another zone shift to move.
Yeah, the zone shift that we're looking forward to now would be a definitive moment, for most of these teams. But again, it would require a little bit of a sacrifice if they are trying to work something along those lines. Would require serious heavy consideration, especially those teams that are coming in from areas such as Northwest and even the Northeast as well. Teams like frequent play coming in all the way from that northern side would require significant levels of discretion, especially if they want to hold out teams like 21st Century inside of Impala. And I talked about, that Impala region. Now, 21st Century looks like they're about to occupy just north of that area, but RB and 1011 will be fighting for who is going to be champion of Impala right now, and it's basically all win or lose at this point. So it's going to be a definitive factor of how these teams to hold
Yeah,
up.
which is quite interesting. Very funny, by the way, too. Because I wouldn't expect 10-11 to make it all the way into Impala, right? This is something we know about Myanmar. If you have Impala in that zone, unless Impala is dead center, like maybe if this next zone that has just popped off were to be in Impala, that's when I'd expect you to send it in there, because if you're sending it into the city too early, it becomes troublesome, because now that zone has moved all the way towards the south. It now becomes a battle to finish the fight in Impala and find a way to make it out. And right now, if you make it out of Impala without a full squad, into that later game or later phase of the game, you're already at a disadvantage. We say the same thing for San Martin. We say the same thing for Los Leones. When that city happens to be in the zone for that first 2-3 zones, you do not want to fully commit into that city, because if that zone moves away from the city, it becomes a very tough rotation to get out of that city.
Exactly. The city play is always going to be very risky, especially if you decide that you want to fully commit. And I would never advise teams to commit fully inside city games, especially especially when the play zone hasn't given you a definitive idea of how you want to base your analysis going forwards. And you just said it exactly. You cannot just commit. You cannot give all of your resources or put out anything inside of a city game in this early stages. Royal Blood unfortunately have fallen prey to that set of engagements coming into the guys for 10-11, but fortunately for them, they've been able to deal with the guys from 10-11 for the time being. So hopefully not have to commit a little bit more going further. But the Invincibles will be sitting very nicely out here in this corner, not having to deal with all of these teams at once. But they do have a lot of teams surrounding them, and they do have some prime real estate that they're working with right now. And I will be able to see them navigate and pull something out going forwards. But Crowns, if you are in the north and you're with teams like Pain, Royal Blood, all the way teams coming in from that northern side, what do you think would be the right choice to make at this moment?
I play from the shorelines, make it all the way towards that eastern edge of the circle, maybe try to share that southern side of where 21st Century find themselves. Because if you try to breach into that northern side, if you hit the tree, you're gonna. Anyway, if you try to make it into that northern side of the circle, it's going to be very tricky. So right now, you're just going to have to bank and hope that the players there from 21st Century don't hit their shots. I mean, there's a little bit of a of deeps that are around this eastern side of the circle, and you could just use that eastern side to breach into that next circle. But well, I'm looking forward to seeing which one of those teams would use that rotation strategy. I wouldn't really expect many of them to reason it, but and that is because they can't see everything that we see. Right, I'm only saying this is what I'll do because I can see what's going on the map. But that would be the ideal rotation to
You
make.
know,
Try to use the shorelines to make it all the way towards that
yeah,
eastern edge, and you're good.
yeah, exactly. Using the shorelines to the eastern edge. I mean, you can't even lie. That is much more ideal going forward. But again, Bump is getting a little bit of a bumpy ride here. All of his teammates are probably calling him from the afterlife to join them because it's looking very tricky for him in this area. He's lost his vehicle, he's lost most of his utilities, and now all he has to do is deal with so many teams. And he's trying to deal with the guys from Pain. Jacob is aware of his location, and the grenades and utilities are flying all the way across. Unfortunately, he's trying his absolute best to deal with those two. And now you can see someone is just turning around, looks like a Moz, just towards the eastern side, and he sprays right through, tries to connect to Jacob, but unfortunately will not roll the dice and get the numbers, but he does connect this time. Jacob falls to the UMP, and Moz is there to deal with him, but unfortunately Jacob will be sent back into the lobby. Royal Blood are managing to squeeze out one elimination from that engagement, but unfortunately, the play zone will be hard on his heel, and he will have to find a way inside of that next play zone. I did not expect this guy to steal away one elimination crowns. Honestly, I thought he was done.
To be honest, that was a very poor push coming through from the side of Pain Africa. But now they're down to just the one player to survive for the rest of the game. That being said, on that eastern edge of things, Rich should have found their way there. At this time, they do look to be holding up quite stronger as they're holding another compound. I really hope they're able to defend this compound this time. But 10-11 going out for the cleanup. I have to mention, 21st Century losing two players on that northeastern side is not something or actually losing one player is not something that I expected to happen. I would have expected that 21st Century would have made it out of there quite early, but it looks like they did not do that just yet. But great shoot, looking to go for that full send on to the side there of Navy SEALs. As we can see, Stoner looking to push him from the side, spots the window play, finds that player, takes it down. Stoner looking for more with the pre-fire, finds the feet and gets the knock. And this is the range shoot that we want to see. This is that hunger that we want to see from that team that is in contention for that top spot.
Yes, sir. That is what we love to see, especially from a team like RSG. But there's a whole lot of bodies around this position. They are all situated in the eastern side. They've already lost. I believe they've already lost Trouble, and hopefully that will yield something. They've got 3 eliminations to work with, but hopefully they will be able to. They will not be getting anyone thrown out going forward. But now, no pressure. We'll be sitting around just looking for a nice spot to call home. So hopefully you're just sitting through Lost and Alien, just holding the top ground. That's a beautiful spray across from the hillside, but unfortunately nothing connects. 21st Century on the back foot. Roy is crawling away there. I don't see him getting picked up. The play zone will be sealing the deal there. Unfortunate turn of events, but Alien was an attack. That's a beautiful touch coming through from the stone. And RSG let this slide off. The receiving end as well. Traitor will be sent back into the lobby. I believe Bego will be swept away. And Amar was discovered. 10-11 back into the lobby they go. The gates have been opened once again for RSG. And now it's an opportunity for them to do something, Crowns.
You can already tell that RSG knew. They did get one of those eliminations, so they know that team is currently out. Now they know the chase is on. And you can just see them just laying low a little before the time because they're just trying to gather as much information. They understand that right now is not the time to rush things. But man, on that northern side, we're starting to see Team Apex start to do some numbers. They're already up to 4 eliminations and make that 6 now as they increase that tally by 2, pushing up onto the side there of Dead Doors now. 2-2 splits is what they've got going on with 2 players watching the side of Dead Doors, the remaining 2 players just looking for positional advantages in that zone. Grenades coming through from Fireboy. Not going to be finding any of the players there from Dead Doors yet, as Kala just tried to look to push some shots through towards their position. But Team Apex really need to make a move right now as that zone will begin to move. Actually has begun to move, and they need to make their moves quickly.
Ooh, Fireboy trying to light the guys from Death Dose up, but unfortunately they've been super evasive. Apex looking very, very strong inside of this position they've been able to hold so far. As you can see, Kage just sitting behind that rock trying to feed some more intel, but the rest of his teammates will be moving deeper into the play zone to secure a position for themselves. No pressure. Have found themselves in a little bit of a warehouse situation. They are trying to play a little bit of compound defense, and that is a strategy that would most likely work at least to get them into the top five, owing to the fact that they do have a little bit of visual to work with. But here comes Apex once again, looking for an opportunity to spray through. Active, still looking very, very nice, still looking very, very quiet. They've got 5 eliminations so far, but they need so much more if they are trying to crack into that top four. They've still got Rage knocked away, but the reset looks like it will be coming through. Shiva tries to pop a grenade over the top, connects to Ronnie. Invincibles in trouble now. Ronnie falls away, and that
That
might be an
was
opportunity for a active gaming to to pop through something there. That's a beautiful touch, really. Can't even lie. You have to love the opportunity that's active are giving themselves right now. Shiva looking for that opening still to
no.
deal with. Diva has been knocked away again. Rage this time will be the victim. He's been spotted off and he's going to be knocked away. I mean, Crowns, there's so much chaos going on, but Active Gaming, it looks like they are giving away their positions, unfortunately, way too easily for me.
I don't know. Active Gaming seems to be holding quite a strong position. The team that is bothering me the most is Invincibles because I do not understand the point of the split. And now they've decided to send, Sean over to grab that revive onto Diva, which he would get the revive, but the odds of surviving that is quite low because now you're split from the rest of your teammates, right? Invincibles, this is not the type of game that you want to be playing. One thing I enjoy is how the players there from Dead Those are choosing to stay alive. And right now, Red Shield needs to breach into this next circle, and they might start going in from that eastern side, having to deal with two players from Invincibles and the side here of Active Gaming.
Yeah, you can see that Roach does have an idea, trying to set his sights onto the guys from Active. There's a whole lot of bodies around. They do have 7 eliminations. They have caught up to 10-11. But now will they be able to make something happen there? Ooh, Nexus has been spotted. The spray from Roach is good, but unfortunately not enough to deal any sort of damage towards Nexus's position. Sean will be discovered by Shiva. Death Dose on the receiving end again. Big Kala, unfortunately, back into the lobby he goes. Now we're down to 5 teams. Apex is still on the eastern seaboard, shooting anything that moves in a beautiful split. Apex, it looks like they've started to find their footing. Oh, Sean will be discovered by Roach. Back into the lobby he goes as well. Diva on the back foot as well. Here comes Roach. He's going to be tagged all the way across by Fireboy. Falls to his knees. Unfortunate scenario there, but RSG are coming one after the other. Here comes Stoner trying to pop through. Roach is still sprawled on the ground. Grenade after grenade. Trying to hold off. He falls inside. Sweetly touches Diva and sends her back into the lobby. RSG will continue to hold off with 2 players knocked away. Manages to keep RSG afloat.
Red Shield, I love this aggression that is coming through from them. This is what I want to see. Proactivity at its finest. In as much as they might go out now, I still feel like they've done the best. They've done the most. They actually did quite the number going into this game. But Team Apex now looking for those flank angles as we start to see Kuma go for a little bit of a flank. And Apex right now have an idea as to where, most of the players, most of the teams are. As we start to see them look towards the different positions that are in that circle. They're holding very strong positions in the circle, have like a whole long space dividing the map into 2. It's only a matter of time before they continue to do this. But Rage Shield still up with 2. They might be able to play spoilers provided the side of Team Apex are not able to snuff them out.
Exactly my point. They can not snuff them out, especially with the way they are. Especially with the way they are positioned, they are doing their absolute best to hold off. But there's so much chaos inside of Miramar right now. Every decision you make will have to yield some serious consequences. Active now getting blown apart here by the guys from No Pressure. One after the other, they start to fall. Shiva crawling away, but he's going to be dispatched immediately. It's all left to Ghost, the MVP for Active Gaming. Can he keep them holding on? 6 eliminations for Active. who will take the chicken dinner. Apex are spread around the entirety of Miramar right now, shooting every single body that makes a sudden movement. No pressure, just up north of that hillside, and Ghost cannot move right now. The moment he
That
makes
is
any
such a
kind
good move.
of sudden move right now, that will be the end for him. Surely he will be exposed to Apex, will be exposed to no pressure. Apex closing the corners really quietly here as Cargate tries to look for an opportunity to breeze through that M4 all the way across. But hopefully the rest of the team from RSG will be able to have something to say about that one. Ooh.
Oh, it's definitely not something that would have happened. Rich Huge is better off just denying the point. Try to out survive the rest of these teams and try to make Apex focus on yet another team, maybe Active Gaming or the remaining players there from no pressure. Because right now, I do not see Rich Shoot surviving this one anymore. But as I said earlier, they already did quite the number. You can tell so Apex knows what team is here, and they know that of all the teams that they want to survive this, they do not want Rich Shoot to make it out of here. And the grenade coming through from Kage would seal that deal with the vehicle explosion. And now Team Apex have just two teams to deal with, but no pressure. Looking to get started with this idea of Invincibles. Takes Invincible out, and we're down to the final three with no pressure. Still looking to hold up quite nicely in the warehouse, but Team Apex have heard those shots and they want the action.
Exactly. They're actually looking for the action. They've got the numbers. They've got everything working in favor. They've got everything turning around for their good. Might as well turn into a gospel song at this point because everybody's trying to get that chicken dinner too. Falling to the ground here. Active might have just played a little bit of spoiler. Here comes Prison trying to spray through with the DBS. Does connect to Kage. 3 bodies down. No pressure, in serious trouble, but it's a 1v1. Lost with the M249, spraying and praying that the bullets connect. He sends another one back into the lobby. Here comes Fireboy on the back end, and now he might spray through to the corner, plays through to the right hand side, tries to connect the shot, tries again, sprays through, but the M249 will come out to be successful, as no pressure will steal it away from Apex. Crowns, I did not see it coming.
You mentioned it earlier. Ghost, the MVP for Team Active Gaming, was the one that played spoiler. Got down 2 players from the side there of Team Apex. Apex got a lead 2-2 overzealous there as they lost players, but you've just got to give it to no pressure. Lost carrying the team. 10 eliminations that they got, and Lost was responsible for 7 out of it, clutching up wonderfully to get the game. And I like what he was doing there in the end of that game there, Lost. You know, he was out there just taking shots, right? As he got the knocks, or as he saw the knocks on the floor, he's like, you know what, I might lose this 1v1. I'm not going to try to be too confident. I'm just going to grab as many thirsts as I can. And that is what he did. And when it came down to it, 89 bullets in the clip, you're definitely going to win that engagement, even though it is up against the crosser.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is a big, big win for no pressure right now, catapulting themselves all the way up. But RSG did not disappoint. Double-digit numbers, surely they've raked in to add to whatever it is they had before. And now the race is on. 2 more games left, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll catch you guys in game 3. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back as we're about to get into the third game of the Clatter of Clans Season 19. Leaderboards are up. Leaderboards are up, so let's see it. I was going to say let's not see it, but let's see the leaderboard. Let's see what we've got going on that leaderboard. Please take it away. Well, as we can see on the leaderboards while we await Priest coming back, 91 points for HU as they find themselves back on top. And this is the pendulum. This is what we want to see. The up and down coming through from the teams there. I mean, in the race, it's still those 10 points behind 10, 11, but can they do it? These are the questions we've got in mind heading into this next game of the day. But it is Sandhawk. We know how chaotic it can get. Invincibles out there in 5th, 21st century, dropping really a whole lot with no pressure. And that chicken dinner bumping themselves up to 4th position. I look forward to seeing what the rest of this day will present to us as we go into Sandhawk. Best playing path we've seen so far, Priest. What are you saying?
Yes, sir. That playing path is looking quite nice. But it's feeling very premium. But then the play zone is not necessarily the most premium. As you can see, it moved all the way to that northern, I'll call it a little bit of a northern play zone. So most of those teams that would be gracing themselves, in our thing, I think they would be enjoying this play zone. Teams like Pain. Right now, as you can see, they're going to enjoy this one for a little bit. Hopefully, they do not get disturbed by anyone, but I think they've got some ops around them in that area. The violence has already started to kick off.
We're already starting to see it, though. It's frenzy this time out here in Hatin. We didn't get to see this yesterday because, there was no Sandhawks yesterday. But right now, Pain Africa, it's a 1-for-1 trade as they have one player there from the from Frenzy, and Frenzy also have one player claimed there from Pain Africa. And to be honest, in a game where this first zone is favoring whatever team might have landed in Hatin, this is not a good way to start the game because regardless of, or at the end of this engagement, whichever team wins would find themselves losing at least one more player, right? So it's going to be a situation of now you're going into the later phases of the circle, you do not have the numbers. But one thing that is very, very surprising, the entirety of bootcamp is empty. But anyway, we look forward to seeing what rotations will look like. Beautiful splits coming through from the side here of no pressure, they're not going to lie. We did see them play quite well in that last game. Hopefully, they can bring in that momentum to do well. Dead Dose is also another thing I'm keeping my eye out on. They're currently out there on the outskirts of Ruins, which is quite interesting to see. I like the approach that some of these teams have taken when it comes to landing in this map here of Sandhawk. Normally, we'd see Active Gaming land in Bootcamp, but Active Gaming have decided to land in the outskirts of Bootcamp just to observe to see if there's any team that will be landing with them so they don't have to forcefully take that hot drop there in boot camp. And I would expect them that they make it into boot camp from here on out. The side here of Dead Those Two and the Invincibles deciding not to fully commit to Ruins area, knowing fully well that something or a team like them, both teams had the same ideas as now they're now in their own engagement as we start to see the push come through from the players there from Invincibles up onto Dead Those. Dead Those losing one more player there, and hopefully we get to see a little bit of that action as it pulls up on that southern side of the map. Anyway, we're still looking for and we are waiting Priests coming back here with us as we continue to look at what is going on in the game here. Out here in Hatin, it's still quite the engagement going on. And as I said, under on that southern side, we do also have Invincibles going in their own skirmish there with the side there of Dead Does. Looking forward to seeing how that one works. Active Gaming also looking to have a little bit of visitors too coming through with no pressure now, making their cross across that bridge from the north. But looking at this zone, even the side there of 10-11 do happen to find themselves in quite the good position, to be honest, because they currently landed around Camp Alpha. We see them on the top of the Camp Alpha hills, and we know how strong those hilltops can be, especially when that zone starts to go towards that position. But anyway, we're looking at that southern side make that the southeastern side, as we see Navy SEALs out there on that south, looking to approach the side of Team Active Gaming, with Apex just being somewhere around the side there. Out there in Pioneer, they will most likely be hearing all of those shots, and I can already start to see a little bit of vehicle usage coming through in Sandhawk. And to be honest, I used to be quite glad about vehicles coming into Sandhawk, but right now I do not know how I feel about it. As you know, now we can see one of the players there from Royal Blood going out in a vehicle explosion because they tried to push up to the side there of Active Gaming and Navy SEAL. So that is something that I wasn't that scares me about using vehicles here in Sandhawk. As we can see, Active Gaming also having their own player wandering away into the horizons there. So I'm still quite indecisive. I've not really stood my ground as to whether I like the vehicles here on Sandhawk or I don't like the vehicles here on Sandhawk. Another thing that's quite interesting for me to see there is that make that the southeastern part of the circle. The amount of teams that we have around the Painan area and Quarry area of the map, especially given the fact that boot camp is empty. This is looking like a potential camp alpha circle, and nobody does seem to be heading towards POIs or stronger positions that I would have expected. I see everyone lurking around that edge, Active Gaming on the edge, Navy SEALs on the edge, Royal Blood also on the edge, frequent plays just making their way in. 21st Century still in the blue, Active Gaming, make that in Apex also somewhere around there. These are not very, very good place to do. But anyway, Active Gaming do seem to have gotten the hang of it, as they found two players there from the side of Navy SEALs, down to Anubis, who's down in the building, and Active Gaming. Now is the time to fuel send it. This is the time that if you have a vehicle, you want to make sure you're using those vehicles to go for the fuel send. And I know Shiva has got one. It's a question of how quickly he can form up on this fight, as Anubis now trying to hold on his end, holding on the edge of the building, looking to want to take this fight. That's a good nade to chunk up a little more HP. Shiva going in from the other angle, as Anubis now has to hold on to his end. Jump shots through the window, coming in through, but none to be found. Anubis will eventually get spotted by Nexus, and that is going to be Navy SEALs losing 3 players down to just 1 player, who does seem to be trying to get a revive though onto the top of the hill. Active Gaming, I did speak about this to Shiva the other day. I was talking to Shiva and I'm like, what? I was watching your montage the other time and I was watching a little bit of your team speak. I see that you don't really thirst, the eliminations when you get the knocks, and I'm like, heading into a more advanced stages, you want to make sure you can salvage as many points as quickly as possible, because right now they did have 3 knocks up, and if they had thirsted everyone that they knocked on the top of the hill, they would have been able to, they would know right now that it's a 4v1. But given that they did not get that thirst up onto Mickey, now it's now a 4v2, 1 elimination less. And now there is even more potential that the side of the Navy SEALs can play potential gatekeep onto Team Active Gaming if they try to make it up the top of that hill. So Active Gaming, maybe you want to do a little bit more thirsting these days, because we know what we talk about. The instance you knock somebody instantly, there is no wasting time. Instant thirsting. There is no time to stress, no wahala. But anyway, if you take a look at some of those teams of interest, looking at the side of 10-11, right now looking quite isolated on a strong position, not going to lie. So we'll give that to them. But when we look at Red Shield, around that platform area, they're getting approached by Galaxy Gaming, who, by the way, there's a steady decline going into today's game. Definitely not what they would have wanted. And we're already starting to see Active Gaming lose players now, as Mickey, who they did not thirst, finally was able to get one of the players down. The side of Navy SEALs do go out, but they go out taking out 2 players there from Active Gaming. So Active Gaming now, this is what I was talking about. If you had thirsted that player earlier, you would have been up as a full squad in a 4v1 situation as compared to a 4v2 where you could potentially get reduced in terms of numbers. But hopefully the team is able to take something away from that and, work on that heading into future games. Zone's moving. The zone is shifting. I'm not too sure if we have Priest back or not. But alrighty. That is good to hear, as we do see that zone does move. And I know you're one of the fanboys around 10-11, and given the way that zone has just moved, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah. It's phase 2 circle. it could go either way still. But I'm pretty confident. 10-11 do have to, they do have the opportunity here to turn up, especially in a map like this. They are very, very blessed when it comes to Sanok. We saw that yesterday, and hopefully we will see that again today. But again, it's not too far-fetched. RSG looking still strong as well, but looks like trouble might have run into a little bit of trouble there, as a spray down will be coming through towards his position from Ice. But Galaxy will have to reset because they are not inside of the play zone. So they will have to, pick and choose their fights very carefully. Hopefully they are trying to settle around these corners, but Stoner is all the way on that eastern side, and he might change the whole dynamic. But I am loving the position coming in for 10-11 and the guys from frequently playing, because yeah,
This guy.
I'm never gonna say
Still.
frequent play, bro. I'm just never gonna say it, man. I don't know. I'm just never gonna say it like that.
Frequent plays, his Instagram is man like Bruce. Be sure to voice out your thoughts. But anyway, Richie looking to color up that elimination feed as they start to pounce on the players there from Galaxy Gaming. Roach finding himself, the thirst, but trouble in as much as we thought he was in trouble, was able to quite get himself one elimination. Might have been reckless play from his end. It did work out this one time, but definitely not expecting it to work out in every situation that they might find themselves as we anticipate yet another zone shift. Where does it go? Favoring the side there of Camp Alpha. Pretty sure 10-11 will be quite glad about this one. And to be honest, whenever the zone goes to Camp Alpha and there's a team on the Camp Alpha hill, I usually am skeptical because I know many teams that hold Camp Alpha Hill likes to hold those long splits, right? And sometimes those splits do not work out. You could get picked off one after the other, and at the same time, you could get a shit ton of elimination. So right now, it's like it's a double-edged sword, and I would like to see if 10-11 are going to be masters in wielding that sword today.
Yeah, I mean, might as well call them, what would I even call them? Jamie Lannister or something, because those guys are wielding swords and all of that. But again, it's very interesting you talk about Camp Alpha because there's also the danger of falling from the cliff. Because I've seen that happen a lot. Ooh, DBS will win every time. Stoner will be the next victim that the DBS will claim. At the DBS, you don't go against it if you don't got a DBS of your own. But shh, we'll put a smile on the rest of his teammates' faces there with that elimination. Hopefully, the guys from Galaxy will have to find a way inside of that next zone, 600 plus meters away, and RSG in front. A trade-off, interestingly, has gone through because Ice is back into the lobby. So this is a potential 3 versus 3, but they've got a Lamborghini to get them out of danger. Pain is also here, trying to inflict pain over Camp Alpha. And you can see a lot trying to gather as much intel as possible going into that place. But Amos will be the one that they will choose to get inside of that corner. 10-11 still holding an interesting split from there. No pressure, under pressure. The spray from Reverb is fantastic, but Lynx will be the one to seal the deal. Electro has been knocked away, and he will be back into the lobby courtesy of the frequently playing team. As no pressure, down to 3. Frequently. Yeah, they are down to 3 very frequently, actually.
Someone stop this man. Someone.
I'm not gonna let this go. Man. I'm never letting this go.
Stop that man. But anyway, speaking of which, I'm quite impressed of letting go. I'm very impressed as to what Pain Africa and Frenzy were able to do out there in the hard team. Both teams deciding to fall out, not taking the fights. That is a very long knock. Very, very long knock that just came through, and Team Apex now finding themselves on the losing end. They had such a cracker of a performance in Miramar, and right now in Sandhawk, I was also going to point out, like, how have they made this rotation all the way from Quarry down to the Northern Bridge? It's a very, very interesting, a very, very interesting rotate coming through from the side of Apex. And I don't know, Machine, you can run faster than that, bro. Please,
well, 2 players knocked away for Team Apex, so they will have to reset and repurpose themselves. But I think their split is paying off nicely. Fireboy was able to pick Kuma all the way back up, so Apex are very looking very strong right here, owing to the performance that they had in Miramar. Unfortunately, the chicken dinner escaped their hands, but they did have a fantastic performance going forward. So hopefully that they will do more of the same. But Death goes down to 2. Smokey is inside of the bus, but will hopefully, unfortunately, that bus is not going to move or take him anywhere. He will have to complete his journey on foot across the bridge, probably running into Apex as they decide to advance forwards. The play zone is still a bit far away. 400 meters should cover their distance, but Smokey will be looking forwards. 10-11 in the feed. Setting your sights onto the guys from Galaxy. As you can see that Bego will be the one to let it rip with that M4. Now the guys from Death Dose will choose will make the right choices here. But will Galaxy come out into the open? There's no way they come out through that place again. There is absolutely no way these guys will come out from it.
I think they might be doubting the spraying ability of Bego there. And given the way Bego played yesterday, I wouldn't doubt that player's, fragging ability. But anyway, speaking of fragging abilities, we're starting to see a little bit of engagement go through on that western side of the map as 21st Century look to get started with Frenzy. A little bit of RSG involved in that mix also, as it's quite the number of skirmishes that is going on. We're starting to see rotations also come through with Pain Africa going to fully settle in that Camp Alpha, and to be honest, I don't know how I feel about that one. I feel like it's a little too early, but at the same time, it might just work out well for them. But right now, it is still trouble on that west.
Yeah, the western side, very, very troublesome, because a whole lot of teams have the same ideas. They're running into each other. Siko looks through the window, pops a couple of shots through. 21st Century are very capable of dealing with pain, owing to the fact that they've even got the numbers advantage. Or will they be able to make it count for something? Beautiful spray again from Siko, continues to tap Machine all the way across there, and it will connect time and time again. But the play zone is not friendly. It is stage 4. And you do not want to get caught out around this time. The rotation deep into the blue. 21st Century will choose. I think Baby will be looking down into the furthest part of the play zone to decide where the rotation will come through. Smokey looking at reverb. Is your spray good? It's Kraus, you the ginger. It's a matter of is my spray good? That's what he's asking himself right there. Will my spray get it done?
Because to be honest, in that kind of situation, you have to get that knock and the confirm in one spray. You cannot miss.
In one spray.
Bruh, that player can't get it
You will
covered.
be punished severely if you get it wrong. You will lose someone, if you get it wrong. Yeah, prize pool distribution is 150 USD.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget.
Don't forget, though. But anyway, Team Apex, one way or the other, getting caught out in the zone. I do not know how they managed to let that happen, but I guess that's what happens when you do not have vehicles in the map here of Sandhawk, as Kage does get taken out in that zone. But out there in the blue zone, we've got the Machine just trying to see if he can hold on to his forts, but his HP currently being chunked down to the lowest minimum, and that is going to be a GG well played. But the angles being held by 10-11 up the top of that hill is going to be very, very troublesome as we start to see frequent plays make their rotation into the Camp Alpha hills. But I do not know, is 10-11 going to allow this one happen? As we start to see them forming a base there, they're doing this, and it is working one way or the other. I do not know how, but right now, on that southern side, we still see the side there of Death Dose.
Death Dose still surviving, still holding on. Was able to catch one of the players from no pressure there. You saw that work out as Machine will fall to the play zone. 21st Century, fortunately, will be losing Quavo as well. Lost is inside of the shack, and he might pose a threat for 21st Century as they advance. The rest of the players from no pressure on the northern side might decide to spray downwards. Ooh, that's a beautiful spray. Might work through as the Molotov cocktail will set him ablaze. Roy is there, but falls to the Molotov cocktail of his teammate. And unfortunately, he will not be getting picked up as the play zone continues to rumble forwards. As Lost will fall away. It's Ollie sealing the deal there for 21st Century, and out they go in 7th place. Pain still looking very strong. They've got a lot of angles to cover, and they've got 3 eliminations to work with. But now they are on the lower half of this hillside. If the play zone makes a crazy shift right now, and it does,
10-11 cannot lose this game. Under no circumstances should 10-11 lose this game. But anyway, player 10-11 does happen to be the one doing the most of the fragging right now on the top of the hill. There has a lot of angles towards the side of frequent plays. I was wondering if they were going to allow frequent plays get that rotate off, and indeed they will. But on the other side of things, we're still seeing them. They have such eyesight, such sight on every person in that circle. It's just a matter of when and how they, how many eliminations they're able to get from this game as we see them continue to increase those elimination numbers.
You can see there. You can see player 10-11 from 10-11. You can see his M416 touching on all the ops like he's molesting them. And that is what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. 10-11 looking very strong. 5 eliminations and counting. Jacobs still on the ground for Pain. 4 eliminations for them. They're still trying to put some serious numbers up. Well, you have to love the risk. You have to love the risk-taking ability of this guy in particular.
I tell you what.
He's trying to deal with the guys from frequent leaf lane.
Exactly.
That's the danger. Trade. That was the danger of going for Pain. And now,
to be honest, that shouldn't have happened. Traitor is up there. He has all the eyes, right? I would expect Traitor to have the angles. At 10-11, one way or the other, they're losing the high ground advantage that they had before. Jacob does get spotted from the side. Bego takes that player out. I'm going to tell Fire, hopefully he's seeing that Bego Traitor thinking once again, but I'm not going to rub it in your face, at least not for the time being. It's down to the final 2 squads. It's a 4v2. The players there from 10-11 have so much information. Bego looking to see if he can get a little bit of the wraparound, but right now, No Braino and Kuza, the last 2 players left for the side of frequent plays, looking to hold down the forts. They do not have the zone, and it's only a matter of time. I feel like there's no way. 10-11, they know they do not have the zone. 10-11's player, 10-11 actually, is able to gather as much information, at least before going out there. But as I said, this looks like a game for 10-11 to just take home, as that blue zone is going to start to force the players there from frequent plays to move. And there's only 2 ways for them to go. Either go up the hill to 10-11, or actually maybe 3 options. Go up to 10-11, fall off the hill and die, or stay here and try to pull off a huge strat, which would definitely not work.
I mean, it really boils down to what the decision, No Brainer and Kuza would decide to make here. But they've done a fantastic job. They've got 6 eliminations. Yeah, they're going to deny the point. I saw this coming. That would be the wiser choice. They will allow the play zone to claim them. And that will be the end, ladies and gentlemen. 10-11 once again turning up in Sandhawk. And that is what we love to see. Hold on. Yeah. Bego has the play zone. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Yeah, there's no way Kuza makes it through. The play zone will claim his life, ladies and gentlemen. That will be a chicken dinner for 10-11. They played this to perfection, took every single precaution, held every single position, had a fantastic split coming into the final third, and got that chicken dinner just as they needed it. And RSG, unfortunately, got swept away and caught up in the emotion by the wayside, and they couldn't put some numbers up. And 10-11 once again rising to the occasion, Crowns. Just like you said, can't lie, I'm a 10-11 fanboy, and I love their Sanok plays. We saw it yesterday. We saw how crazy they get in Sanok, and they continue to perform.
The pendulum effect continues as we see 10-11 now bounce themselves up inevitably to the top of the leaderboard. And as we predicted earlier on today, it will be down to the last game. But ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. That last game will be starting in a matter of minutes. So be sure to grab your popcorn, get ready, get your calculators, and start to do the math, because the Clatter of Clan final season, or actually season 19, final game, will commence just right after the break.
situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers. That's what
I know you're the one.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're about to head into the final game of the Clatter of Clans. How are you feeling about this one, Priest?
I am super, super excited. 10-11 stepped up to the plate. And, like you said, the pendulum effect, they've swung themselves up into first place. But RSG, not to be counted out just yet. And we talk about this final game. It always comes down to the last game. I remember the last season, it came down to the last game still, between, I think 10-11 Active Gaming and I think 21st Century, all of them were up for the grind, and the Invincibles as well. So the offer, I think we're seeing more of the same right now, but with RSG in the mix. So I'm really going to keep my eyes out for RSG, owing to the fact that they are not too far away, from the other teams now. They are within reach. They're just a couple of points within reach from, the teams are in third, fourth, fifth. So we are, taking a look at the leaderboard for ourselves right now, we'll see, what exactly it is we're talking about, what teams need to do, how many points they need, to climb up. And you take a look at that, Crowns. Just look at that.
11 points separating first place from second place, and another 12 points separating second place from third place, which means there is no chance to escape. There is no chance to play bad. You have to make this last game count, which is sure right now that is if Richard and 10-11 are going to be playing the game of, watching that kill feed, because one of these teams cannot go out before the other. And that one thing they are very, very sure of. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to play this final game of the day as we already get into Era Girl. The playing path is not the best again, but that is a very beautiful playing, parachute, makes up for it.
Definitely don't. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. We're enjoying PUBG mobile content at its finest. It is the Clatter of Clans Season 19. It is the grand final day 3. And we are going to see who is going to walk away with that prize money for their team and a spot inside the Clatter of Clans showdown that will be happening in December of 2023. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are now here. And we have 51 players in the cut, and all of them vying for an opportunity to get something here. Rage, looking for an opportunity to pop right through with the M16. Pops a couple of shots towards Emperor, manages to find the hit marker, but Emperor will be able to jump out and save himself the embarrassment of having to fight with his fist. But he's going to pop through the corner again, a trap through again. Shotgun to the rescue once more. Rage will be swept away. And again, we talked about this, Invincibles and getting into fights with the quickness. Emperor is going to be tagged up again with that shotgun, but Nexus is going to be fighting too many ops at the same time. Proceeds to pop downstairs, connects the first shot onto Diva.
Nice.
Charlie will get the confirmation again. Nexus starting to cook. Now Invincibles will have to choose this battle very, very quickly, but Nexus is going to switch to an even more dangerous shotgun. Pops through the first shot, doesn't connect. He's going to try again. Phases through. Nexus looking for that opening onto Ollie, but he fails to connect the shots. But again, he's going to go up the stairs and probably going to switch again to the S686. Yes, a much more dangerous shotgun. And Nexus has just been dancing ring around the rosy here with the guys from the Invincibles. It's one elimination apiece format, just hovering around the corner there. Nexus, the delay tactics are good, but he's going to be swept away by Ollie. Shotgun versus shotgun, but Ollie will come out on top. Format pulls up to the scene, and here comes Ollie jumping over, but Format taps through. He's going to be down to about 1 HP. Shiva has to pull up. Now is the time. He's very low on HP. Invincibles, they love the early fights. Active Gaming are not built for fighting early, and Invincibles will come out on top most of the time, and Format again will fall. Active Gaming down to 1. Shiva.
This was too delayed. Too delayed. Nexus held for so long, and the rest of Active Gaming did not form up. I feel like that was a little bit of indecisiveness coming through from the team. Do we want to take this fight or do we not want to take this fight? Shiva finding himself in a 1v2 as he downs Sean. Now on his right is going to be Emperor, picking his head up a little bit as Shiva looks for more. As the players there from Invincibles looking to fall through from behind that player. And I'm pretty sure he realizes that one early though. Doesn't have too much HP. Pulls up into the fight. Shiva fights too. And it is down to the 1v1. Emperor on the bottom of the hill doesn't have the height advantage as Shiva looks for more. Now he's going for the thirst. That is what we wanted to see him do. But right now he might be coming up, fighting him in the butt. He gets more shots to connect. It's a little bit more. It's down to the of HP as he tries to pull up that HP bar. And Emperor now coming
AKM,
in.
AKM, AKM.
And it's Shiva. You don't play with him.
You don't play. Don't play or you will learn. You will learn. Invincibles have learned. They have learned the hard way. Active gaming, not letting them breathe at all. Shiva is the one that cooked, is the one that feasted on their corpses. As Active Gaming will walk away with 4 eliminations, crowns. That was absolutely breathtaking.
Brilliant performance coming through from Shiva. And I'm gonna damn good. Invincibles, that was a throw. Oh, it was a huge, huge throw. I call this a throw because when you wanted to push up onto who was the first person? Flip, I forget the names. But when you wanted to push up onto the first player there of Active Gaming, yeah, Rage. When they were going to push up onto Rage, they pushed as a squad. When they were going to push up onto Nexus, they pushed as a squad. Got format from off angles, and then you're like, okay, you know what? For Shiva, let us all go try and challenge one after the other. And Shiva, as Priest said, you will learn. Shiva is not that player that you want to contest as a solo, strong enough to take down 2 players, even when they push him as a duo. And that man showing us exactly what he can do. Invincibles, safe to say they're out of that race for that top 2. As now they're out. The rest of the game, every other person in that elimination feed, especially Pain Africa, would be happy about this one. But guess who else is happy? It is Red Shield as 10-11 lose Bego.
Ooh, Bego getting caught by the wayside there, rotating a little bit too close for comfort to the guys from Death Dose. Will be paying the ultimate price there. But stunning display coming in from Shiva. He is the one who knocks. He is the danger. And we have seen that play out time and time again. 10-11. Unfortunately, cut down to 3 now. Playing as 3 would put a smile on the faces of the guys from RSG, but RSG are still a couple of points away. They will need at least a chicken dinner to secure something for themselves because they are still within reach to the rest of the other teams. 12 points is not a lot. You know, 12 points is not a lot. So they will need to rise to the occasion if they are trying to get some points on the board. If they are trying to even get maintain at least that second place and try to win the entirety of this competition. But Pain is also one of the teams that we are looking forward to seeing how they will be able to survive going further. But I am enjoying this style they've been able to maintain so far. More just driving through, looking for a position inside of that circle, trying to play a little bit central. Guys from frequently playing, and I think Frenzy all the way on that western side, active with Shiva equally on that western side, trying to make their way inside of the zone. 21st Century heavily blessed with their rotation coming in from the south. They have found their way inside an interestingly quiet central position as well. It is phase 1 of the circle. Death Dose driving a little bit dangerously close to 10-11. This might change things. Spray is good. And Beko and the rest of the guys from Death Dose will have to choose how this fight goes.
Yeah, Beko going up against the 10-11 that doesn't have Beko. You love to see that one. But anyway, 10-11 holding up on the shorelines. That is where all of this trouble is going through. As you said, that play zone does look quite scanty. There's only 12 teams. We had 3 teams not pull into the lobby for the final games, reason best known to them. But anyway, we just have to see some rotations coming in through. Pain Africa, I do have to point it out, they've not had the best of tournaments going into these finals. To be honest, we've seen them play better, and if you've watched Pain Africa play games, you would know that this is not the Pain Africa that we know. But the only thing that is surprising for me is the fact that even despite the fact that they've played bad games all through these finals, they still find themselves in that top 4 position. And with Invincibles going out early this game, they have the chance to even find themselves in the top 3 position, provided the rest of the teams like 21st Century do not have a good game. So tell me, I'll tell you something, if you're the one that is watching all of these teams, or if you have a team that you're watching here specifically, you might want to get your calculator and start to do the mathematics. Anyway, Here in Africa, as we're just talking about them finding themselves one elimination to get things started, as we still see 10-11, and this is an impressive play coming through from 10-11, to be honest, on that eastern side, because 10-11 is that team that before would see them wait it out in mutual power, try to take out the entirety of whatever team is out there in mutual power, but today they've decided to move away from mutual power, leave that engagement, not because they're scared, not because they do not want to take the fight, but it's just a situation of there is no point trying to delay when you could find yourself better position. They understand what is at stake, and they know that there is that first position that they have to defend. So that is a very good play coming through from 10-11 as they send you straight into the center of the circle, looking to hold up in buildings around the muta area of the map. Up to the north, we have the side of Red Shield, the other contestant for that top position, looking to find a way into that circle. As we see them just chilling on the north, they have a little bit of a split being encroached by the side there of No Pressure, as No Pressure starts to stay around them. Danny Brown, though, does have the eyes of an eagle to find that one knock up onto Electro. And right now, what Roach is doing is what they did in the Sandhawk game, which did not play out quite well, where we started to see their players doing a little bit of overextending onto the knocks that they have. But anyway, more trouble is going to be happening out there on that southeastern edge too, as 21st Century now find themselves in a skirmish with the players there from Dead Doors. Hoping we see that one, as we do see shots coming in through. Beko trying to look for that shot up onto Quavo, but we did see Quavo pull up a very sexy performance in the map of Demi yesterday. Beko just looking for those shots coming into the vehicle as the bomb, the grenade throws that vehicle all the way, all across the map. But Quavo, he's got such excellent sprays, finds the knock up onto Beko as 21st Century hold on to their fort. Get those now down by one, looking to look for more ways to push up onto this engagement as they start to smoke up, looking for that revive up onto Beko. And to be honest, this is definitely not how they would have expected to start this game. I mean, not by losing one player as they would be able to grab the revive, but 21st Century go out early in this game. Now, that top 3 position again opens up for any team who might want to grab that one. So I'm keeping my eye out to see what happens in this game, because to be honest, that battle for first position now is getting real as the time does go by. Invincibles are out early, which means they're out of the run. 21st Century needed a good game this game to make it into the top 4, but now they're out. Active Gaming needed a good game, but they're down to 1. There's only so much you can do as a solo. So we're looking forward to seeing, will Active Gaming be able to retain that top 8 position that they found themselves before going into this game, or would they drop? Dead Those now up, looking like they're going to be having a cracker of a game in this one, as we did see them pull up quite a good performance early today when they grabbed themselves the chicken dinner. So, going into this game, we'll see how that one pulls up. Another zone shift upon us, and this time it does center up quite nicely on 10-11. Kind of already know what happens whenever 10-11 does get that zone. We know that they were going to do the most with it, because we did see that happen in the Sandhawk game where 10-11 had quite the central position and they played it to the T, played it to the paper, and right now they know they cannot go out quite early. Shiva from the side of Active Gaming is able to make it into the zone though, which is quite interesting. If he's able to hold onto that position for the time being, he might just be able to get his team quite the good performance or the good placement points, adding to that elimination points that they already have. But Dead Doors, though, not looking to keep quiet anytime soon, as they do get started on that western side. They've been taking out every team that they find right in front of them. But 10-11 right now in the background, looking to see if they might be able to do a little bit of third-party action. And I'm loving what I'm seeing there from Dead Doors. They're just one team that are just moving all around the map, hearing the shots and going for the shots. But right now, it's Team Apex going up against Navy, who are down to just the one player here, looking for that thirst frantically, cannot find it as the off angle comes through from Kage, and Team Apex emerge victorious in that fight.
Beautiful play coming in from Team Apex there, but I would say this hasn't been their best tournament, because owing to the fact that we know what their capability is, but Galaxy getting crashed up here, Grego pulling up in a Lamborghini, but they're going to cut that one out with the quickness. And hopefully he did join the rest of his teammates screeching back into the lobby. And now the guys from PIN frequently have not been playing too nicely. As you can see, Kuza just trying to hold off the rest of the guys from Death, because they've been absolutely tearing through the lobby. They've not let anyone rest so far, but RSG in danger now. And now is not the time for them to suffer any sort of setback. Molotov cocktail is good. Lynx
Good one.
pops a grenade right over the top, but unfortunately doesn't connect. Stoner
Good one.
will be charging a grenade, and it might just connect through from any of those windows, any of those openings, and he might be in a dangerous position to hold off. Falls behind the compound, and Lynx, unfortunately, will be the last one for the guys from frequently playing. Uh,
And it's good nades coming through from the side of Red Shield. They just need to push up as a full squad, and that's what we're seeing. Danny Brown and Stoner being together now, going for the push. But if Lynx have got DBS, that will be cancelling out the efforts. Danny Brown falling back. Stoner the only one against Lynx. Why are you letting this happen? Lynx goes for the push, looks for the knock, finds one onto Roach, but will not be able to continue on that one as Red Shield get themselves 2 eliminations to continue up on this game. And while Red Shield does all of this, 10-11 are just friendly neighbors around them, listening to those shots go, trying to out-survive them, because they know that every shot that they hear coming through from their right-hand side or even left-hand side, depending on where they're looking, any shots coming through from their west, actually, they know that that is going to be Red Shield, and they'll be keeping their ears out for that one.
Yes, sir. They will be keeping their ears out because they know that the job is not done yet. RSG is still alive and still getting points. They've got 2 points now, and all they need is 10 more to be within grasp of the guys from 10-11. And 10-11 is a man down. RSG are still going strong. No pressure. Still inside of this building here, trying to find a place inside of the next circle. They've got 20 seconds to decide, as 10-11 will be on the other receiving end. They've got an angle inside of Milta to decide for themselves, so they will not be doing any kind of rotation for the time being, but the guys from Pain will be playing the terrain, and they are sitting very nicely. Sheen exposed a little bit too much, and Danny Brown will knock his helmet clean off, and that is a warning. RSG are not here to play.
They're not here to play, I tell you. They have got their eyes set on it. 11 points is what separates them from the side here of 10-11. And right now it has been dwindled down to 9 as they get themselves 2 eliminations up on board. And now they're going to continue to look for more as they go into that one. Actually, it's down to 10 now, given that 10-11 were able to get themselves 1 elimination up on board. But still, it is a huge battle. 10-11 in the center of the circle. Red Shield holding off the Elf Center up towards the north. Active Gaming coming in, make that team Apex coming in from that eastern edge as we start to see shots coming in through. The machine finds one player there from no pressure. Lost does get uprooted. You can tell Team Apex, they are pissed off. This team robbed them of a chicken dinner out there in Miramar, and Team Apex are looking to do the deal and send them back packing early on in this game as no pressure down to just prison.
The violence continues as Prison will be the last one left. Unfortunately, Aiden has been knocked away. Apex surely will make the push. They're known for this. Now they've pulled up to the zone. Karge on the back foot, looking for that opening. Grenade is good. Oh, wow. He sidestepped that one because that was so close. I saw that bounce right in front. Prison would open the door just to give a little bit of a warning, but it looks like 10-11 and RSG have run into each other. This deciding moment going on all the way there. Prison has been swept away. Apex will seal yet another one. 5 eliminations for them. And now Amar starting to cook the guys from RSG. They've cut them down to 3 players. Grenades bombarding every single corner. RSG in trouble. 10-11 trying to keep them at bay. Danny Brown, if he peeks, he's finished. And he did peek. He made the mistake of peeking instead. Amar is the one that swept away. 10-11 now on the back foot. Danny Brown is the one that's causing chaos. And now 10-11 and Traitor will have to decide what they will do first.
I mean, it's a 2v2 right now, but none of the teams are aware. Frenzy looking to come in from behind, but Pain Africa is like, let the young phones fight as they're looking forward to this engagement. I think the resets would be able to come through on both sides. As both teams are playing from the other side of the road, there is no way they can push up onto this one. Both teams just have to make sure that if you're getting knocked, you're not getting thirsted, or you're not getting knocked in positions where you could get thirsted, because right now, if you knock just one player, you cannot push across the road. You're going to get taken out. So right now, 10-11 and Red Shield, they've alerted themselves that we're in your vicinity. It's not a situation of how well they're going to play it. But that is the thing. Red Shield needs to take out 10-11 right now before before they can say they can win this tournament. Because right now there's already 6th position up for grab, which means placement points are starting to increase. The more placement points that 10-11 are able to get, the more eliminations needed for Red Shields to get in order to climb above them. And right now, with 19 players left in the game, it is looking like it's going to be very hard for Red Shield.
Exactly my thinking. But the way you said they need to take out 10-11 right now. Oh yeah, now carry them with your hand and throw them inside. Make a good one, no?
To be honest,
Take
with the
them.
amount of smokes that they were able to use, I think this crossing is something that is possible for Red Shield. But
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this is called? This is Delulu. He's the only Sululu because the angles are so crazy. 10-11 are in a split. RSG is equally in a split. Danny Brown holding the backside. And you can tell a Machine trying to spray through there to cut a couple of shots out to Smokey. Those, unfortunately, getting caught out there. Jacob will be blown away by Apex. And it looks like this is a game that Apex is trying to win. 10-11 continuing to lay waste to anyone that crosses the corner. Now, Payne will be the next victims as they will be spotted there. Traitor sprays all the way across, but unfortunately, Big Kala has been knocked away and he's not going to be picked up. Death Dose will be cut down to just one player. And now the rest of these teams surrounding this area are all inside of the play zone. There is nobody that has to make any kind of sudden moves, any kind of sudden rotations. They've all found a little niche for themselves. But now it gets eerily dangerous because Crowns did mention it. The more RSG do not take care of 10-11, the more the win slips away.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm calling it 10-11 already winning this tournament because right now, Red Shield do not have anyone around them. The only team Red Shield can take out right now is 10-11. And to do that, they would have to cross that road, which is going to be a very deadly thing to do right now. Team Apex and every other team that is left, like Frenzy, they are all in the line of sight there of 10-11. And to be honest, with this position being held by 10-11, it is looking like a 10-11 game for the win. But 10-11 not having that numbers advantage like Team Apex does, it's kind of making things, it's making the odds a little bit different. But Red Shield looking for an entry knock, but we know 10-11 way too well. They will not allow that entry knock to come through. And 10-11 knows for one, Red Shield is not going to try to cross this road.
Yeah, exactly. They don't see them making that play, but the play zone will be squeezing them around. Kage tries to spray a little towards the left-hand side, and to shoot at the ops for a moment there, and he's doing a fantastic job so far, but unfortunately, there's only so much he can do from that position. Might decide to trigger something all the way across, but that's a fantastic spray. But there's so much chaos going around. The play zone is a little bit by the shore side, so any of these teams will decide to make those moves. RSG looking very, very disproportionate here. They've already lost one. Now, will they lose more? The play zone starting to move. It will force a lot of decisions coming in. And just like Crown said, the smokes have started to come out. 10-11 might be able to spot Roach as he makes the cross. But he's not going to be spotted. Grenade is out. Might just connect. Amar.
Red Shield doing this push too late. Too late
for this one. That is for sure. It is absolutely curtains. 10-11 have secured way too much placement points at this point. There is no way they survive. Grenade is good, manages to buckle a couple of players along the lines, but it's not looking like they can hold them off. Roach tries to phase through to the left-hand side, tries to pop indoors as well, but 10-11 just evading, holding on, making the game a little bit more tiresome. Molotov cocktail, Grenade. Which one is it going to be? As a Roach, we did not even see what happened to Roach there.
All we know is that he took the DBS to the face and he's down. Stoner, the last player left for the side here of Red Shield, getting pushed by 2 from 10-11.
Oh my God.
And 10-11 stamp it, seal it in the books, as now they're down to the final 3 teams. Frenzy is out there on the shoreline, trying to hold off the side of Team Apex, but Apex playing with the smokes, trying to see if they can hold on to the ends as they start to launch those grenades towards the side of 10-11. 10-11 might not be able to make it out of here, but they know for one, they have taken this tournament home. Kage falls as the side of Frenzy, looking to stand up in the final game of the Clatter of Clans. 10-11 watching all of this happen, and I love it because they understand they're not going to interfere with this business. Let the side of Frenzy do the damage onto Apex, and you can just come through to sweep up and do the finishing damage. He's gonna get the revive. No, he will not, because Stratos stands up to find the knock, and Apex once again getting a chicken dinner stolen right in front of their eyes, arms, everything. They're just getting it stolen. Oh, that's good.
Ooh! DBS to the face. Traitor is cooking. Frenzy will be the last ones left, trying to keep the guys from 10-11 at bay, but there's so much chaos going on. The play zone favoring the guys from 10-11. 10-11 somehow. Oh, that's a nice touch. That is a fantastic spray across. Fantastic spray across, catching in.
It's a 2v3 right now. 10-11 with Amar holding the good angle. I do not know what Mythic has got in mind with that drive-by, but maybe looking for the thirst, maybe looking for more angles. We cannot tell. But right now, it does look to be maybe working out well as player 10-11 starts to send the grenade towards the side of Mythic, but it's a little too far. None to connect just yet, but Amar finds a sexy grenade up onto Fanta. Now it's a 2v2. Amar looking to stand up. That is a good nade, but he sees Elmigo though. The grenade does land though up onto player, so now it's a 1v2. Elmigo very low on HP, but gets that HP bar back up. DBS in the hands. Amar cannot hold it down as Frenzy gets themselves the final chicken dinner of the day. But 10-11 did more than expected, more than intended, and get themselves crowned the champions of the Clatter of Clans Season 19.
Definitely doing more than intended, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you seal the deal. 10-11 rising to the occasion, rising through the ranks once again, securing a top flight finish, getting themselves a little bit of that money, and once again finishing strongly in the Clatter of Clans. Of course, this means that since they already made it into the top 4 in the previous season, the 5th place team will qualify for that showdown. So once you see the leaderboard, keep in mind that the 5th place team might most likely be in the showdown. But Crowns, you called it. You said that RSG, the delay, they were going to suffer for it, and they absolutely suffered for it. They should have just done it. They should have just taken the fight. Should have just taken the fight to 10-11. Then they should have just said, "Man, let's just get it done. Let's just, one time. It's only one time,
They should have
really
just
needed to gone for it.
They really needed to do it. And I called it. I really called it. I said, and you called it the Lulu, but it actually did work, right? I said it. The amount of smokes they were able to use early on to grab that revive, they had just enough smokes to use to cross that road, right? And if they had used the smokes the way they used it when they eventually crossed, they could have taken that fight to 10-11 before 10-11 even got more eliminations up on board. But man, 10-11 on that defense was absolutely good. And I saw this coming through from 10-11 from the beginning of the game. From the scratch, they were in a hot drop situation. They lost Bego quite early. They realized that this is not something that they want to take. This is not a hot drop situation that they want. We're playing for the late game. They made that rotate out of Muta power instantly, made it all the way to Muta, secured themselves a position that was definitely sure would end up in that late game, and they played it to perfection. The same thing they did in Sandhawk, they've come here to do it again in Erangel, and well-deserved champions going on to the side there of 10-11.
Yes, well deserved. Congratulations, 10-11, on that finish. This has been their year, surely. They have been taking wins after wins after wins, and hopefully this will continue going into the later part of the year, as we will watch them participate in the global esports game in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So do not forget to tune in and support the country, Nigeria, as we move towards that ends as well. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we've come to the end of the stream, as the results will be posted on the social media, and then you take a look for yourselves and keep an eye out for that 5th place team, because I believe that team will be getting the call to come and participate in the showdown coming December 2023. But Fire, if you've got any words for the viewers.
Well, Fire is telling me to tell you guys that, well, that was a beautiful tournament that was hosted. We're going to be giving thanks over to the side there of Unsullied Army for bringing this one again. I believe Nexal Gaming also for partnering with Clatter of Clans, making this one come to pass. A huge congratulations to 1011 once again, and also I say congratulations to pretty much every other team that participated here, because it is not an easy feat to make it all the way to the finals of a tournament. So you guys did play well. It's just a situation of looking back to see what you played or what you did wrongly in this tournament and working on that. But hey, I'm not going to unlock Coach Crowns right now, and I'm just going to say to the viewers, thank you for pulling in, thank you for tuning in. I believe we hit the subscriber targets for the tournament, which is a huge W for the side there of not just us but also the viewers out there. So thank you for tuning into the tournament, and I believe with that we're going to be calling it the end of the Clatter of Clans season 19. Thank you all for tuning in. Until the next time, stay tuned, stay connected, you know the vibes. Don't hack the game and play PUBG Mobile. See you soon. PNPL. What the fucking idiots were, bro? That shit really pained me, because this